Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between emerald hills, lived a young woman named Anya. Anya possessed a kind heart and a vibrant spirit, yet her inner world was a tempest. Flashes of anger ignited within her like sudden wildfires, fueled by the smallest of perceived injustices. Tides of anxiety crashed against her mind, leaving her breathless and unsure. Her melancholy would descend like thick fog, cloaking her days in gray. She longed for a way to break free from the whirlwind of her emotions. One afternoon, while seeking solace in the nearby woods, Anya stumbled upon a simple monastery. Intrigued and desperate for change, she hesitantly approached. An old monk named Tenzin emerged, his serene smile offering a glimpse of the peace she craved. Anya poured out her heart to him, laying bare the relentless turmoil within. Tenzin listened with understanding eyes. "Anya," he began, "our emotions are like wild horses, powerful and often unpredictable. To control them, we must not try to break their spirit, but rather train them with wisdom and compassion." He led Anya to a small clearing where a clear stream snaked through mossy stones. "Imagine your emotions as this stream," he said. "Observe them as they flow, acknowledge them, but do not drown in them." Anya sat by the water's edge, closing her eyes. Focusing on her breath, she began to notice the rise and fall of her own emotions. Anger surfaced, a knot of heat in her chest. In the past, she might have allowed that heat to consume her, lashing out with hurtful words. Instead, Tenzin taught her to simply name the feeling, anger, and to notice its effects on her body. Slowly, the tightness in her chest began to lessen. "See, Anya," Tenzin observed, "you are not your anger. It is a visitor, a passing wave. This is what the ancient wise ones called mindfulness, to witness our thoughts and emotions without judgment." Over the following weeks, Anya returned to the monastery often. Tenzin introduced her to the concept of impermanence. "Just as the seasons change, so too do our emotions," he explained. "They are in constant flux. It is only when we desperately cling to a feeling or resist its passing that true suffering begins." With practice, Anya started to recognize the impermanent nature of her emotions. She observed how a cloud of sadness would slowly evaporate, or how a burst of joy, while beautiful, would also naturally fade. This realization empowered her, easing her fear of being forever ruled by fickle feelings. "Anya," Tenzin said one day, his eyes holding a depth of wisdom, "we must remember that everyone suffers from this ebb and flow of emotions. It is part of being human. When we cultivate compassion for ourselves and others, we break free from the cycle of judgment and self-blame." Inspired, Anya actively sought out opportunities to show compassion. If she saw a stranger struggling, she offered a smile or a helping hand. Seeing their hardship reflected in her own struggles created a bond, dissolving the isolating grip of her emotions. But, of course, old habits tried to pull her back. There were times when Anya still stumbled, letting a harsh word slip out, or falling into a spiral of negative thought. During these moments, she remembered Tenzin's guidance to be gentle with herself. "Just return to your breath, Anya," he would say. "The breath is an anchor in the present moment. It is always here to guide you home." As the seasons changed, Anya's inner transformation reflected that of the natural world. She discovered that mindfulness didn't extinguish her emotions. They were still a vibrant part of her being. She simply learned how to ride the waves skillfully. When faced with a difficult situation, she first took a deep breath, creating space between stimulus and response. Instead of reacting blindly, she chose actions that aligned with her true values. One sun-drenched morning, while sitting by her favorite stream, Anya realized an internal shift had taken place. A faint spark of anger surfaced, triggered by a careless remark she'd overheard. With newfound skill, she recognized the anger, felt its fleeting physical sensations, and watched it wane without controlling her actions.